accusation is based on court transcripts, investigative reports, and personal interviews. Certain names have been changed.
Did you get chased by dogs today, Daddy?
Just 6 big safe. What have you guys been doing?
Getting worms. See?
Oh, yeah, you really hit the jackpot there, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Hey, Dad, can we go fishing?
Oh, well, listen, Mama's been slaving in the hot kitchen all day. I think we ought to eat dinner, don't you?
Okay. I'm so old. My legs don't work.
Oh, Shell, look, you got dirt all over me already, so why not? You ready? Hop!
Giddy up, Daddy.
Here we go. Here we go.
Another Johnson City housewife was
Martha Lou?
raped today.
In here, Doug.
Number of victims of the so-called Johnson City rapist. Police report they have no new leads, and local leaders are outraged.
That man did it again today.
Oh, it's all right. Relax.
Here we go.
That's delicious.
My, Miss Martha Lou.
How come Mama always puts it in front of you?
Because I'm the biggest, and I got the knife.
It's not funny, Doug. It's number 6 today.
Sorry. You know, maybe you should be seeing the doctor about relaxing instead of me.
Well, you're not a woman.
Yeah, he's lucky. Isn't he, Mom?
All right, I want to know who's really hungry.
Me!
Been so strong, honey. I'd hoped all this was behind us now.
It's just inside. My nerves are all... I'm not sleeping. I just think it's better to catch it now. Better to be safe than sorry.
Well, what should we tell the kids? It's a mental hospital, and I don't know if they'll understand.
Oh, we'll just tell them the truth. It's just for a few days' rest. Oh, they'll understand. I'm a vet. It's free.
Mailman, I have a package.
It wouldn't fit, is all, and it looks like the clouds are going to open up. Okay.
Martha Forbes, get out here, will you?
Hello, Mrs. Russ.
Well, what's that all about?
Oh, that's his new toy.
Oh, and he's taken the day off to wash it?
No, he was just relaxing. Then Lance got sick again, so...
Well, is today still all right, Martha?
Oh, sure.
You know, I have been so afraid to go outside. I'm completely out of food. Now, I promise you, I will be back at 4 o'clock to pick up my girls.
4 is fine. Honey, you'll be around here for a while in case Lance has to go to the doctor's, huh?
You bet. Miss Russ?
See, it'll be fine. 4 will be just fine.
All right, I'll see you at 4. Now, you be real good now.
Don't you worry about that.
Oh, thank you. Okay, sweet Louise.
It's definitely the same man, Mr. May. Tore up the husband's picture, drunk, green Jeep. It's him, all right. But this time we got a fingerprint.
Good.
And she got a great look at him. She ran in this bathroom after he assaulted her, and he pushed this up against the door to trap her in there. But, Mr. May, if you'll notice, this door opens inward.
Uh-huh. So what you're telling me is he left her way to climb over that thing and get the handgun.
Right.
Sure. If he wanted to trap her, he could have locked her in that closet there. He wanted to help her out. Well, if it's the profile, kind of Jekyll and Hyde, it's a real mental case. Let's follow up on that mailman tip with this victim.
Over here. Come on, some exercise here. Come on, that's it. Hey, Forbes. Let's go. It's exercise time.
Let's go. Come on, George. Way over. Come on, let's go, George. Get it over, George. There you go. Oh, Spiker. Spiker. Hey, come on, go. Have it over here. Okay.
Here at Washington County Sheriff's Headquarters, a suspect has been taken into custody in the latest in a series of 8 rapes that have terrorized the women of Johnson City. After receiving an anonymous tip, police escorted the latest rape victim to Veterans Hospital, where she positively identified Douglas Forbes, a 33-year-old mailman at the Johnson City Post Office. Forbes was a patient in the hospital psychiatric ward. Okay, here she comes. Ready? This is Forbes, Channel 3 News. May we talk with you for a moment? You're the wife of the suspect, the so-called mad mailman. May we have a comment on your husband's arrest? Mrs. Forbes,
There's been a terrible mistake, that's all.
You know your husband delivered mail. Mrs. Forbes.
Are you all right? Been here all night.
We all know this whole business with Doug is a mistake. But we went ahead and hired our brother a lawyer.
Martha, this is Tom Cowan. Now, he's agreed to take the case.
Nice to meet you, Mrs. Forbes. Maybe we should sit and discuss exactly
There isn't anything to discuss. I was with my husband when this woman, I checked it.
Were you? Are there any other witnesses who can testify to this?
Yes, Mrs. Russ. You know, she's the war hero's wife. Well, everybody in town respects her. I was babysitting with her 2 little girls. Now, why can't we just tell them that?
All right, men in there, let's straighten up and face the glass toward me. Why don't you give me a quarter turn to the right now? All right, face back toward the glass. And I want you to give me a quarter turn to the left. Now you face back toward the glass.
Well, Miss Lackey?
Him. Second from the right.
Thank you.
Golly, what a giant surprise. Especially after yesterday when you lined him up for with the veterans from the War of 1812. Mr. District Attorney, his alibi is going to make you the laughing stock of this.
Now, Miss Delaney, I know it's been a long time. Try again, would you?
Yes. That man. The second one from the right.
And other than the day he raped you, did you ever see that man before? Now, can you tell us something, Mrs. Alcott?
I can't see his eyes. They were so distinctive.
All right. Let's go look at his eyes. Come on with me.
Mailman.
No, lady.
Thank you.
No, wait, lady, I've never seen you before. Just saying. Lady!
And now stay tuned for the latest news, up-to-the-minute report on the weather, sports, and stories of interest around the state. We'll have an update on the arrest of a Johnson City mailman charged with multiple rape.
Mama, when is Daddy coming home?
Not for a few more days, Shell.
A voice is missing from our choir today. That of our friend and deacon, Douglas Forbes. We've all heard him called the cruelest names by those who do not know him. We do. But until the truth comes out at his trial, Brother Forbes needs our help. With love and in Christian charity, I ask you to contribute to our neighbor and brother in Christ, remembering the gift without the giver is bare. Who gives himself with his alms feeds three, himself, his hungering neighbor, and me.
One moment, please. You mean to tell me you were able to raise $250,000 in this county to bail this man out?
People in this town know he's innocent.
Listen, Forbes, I want to tell you something in the presence of your counsel. I'm as sure of getting a conviction in this case as I am of the sun coming up tomorrow morning.
Mr. May, I swear to you, it was somebody else.
I'm not just worried about these 8 women who want justice. I'm worried about the safety of the whole city. I don't want you on the streets, Forbes. You're liable to do this again.
That's enough, Mr. May.
I'm trying to help him, Tom. You plead guilty. I'll get you 3 years on each of these indictments. A total of 9 years. That's the minimum sentence for rape in the state of Tennessee. And with good time and parole, he could be out in 4 years, 5 years.
4 years, 5 years. Mr. May, I did...
Mr. May, Lieutenant Nance said you had 2 fingerprints in this case. Is either one of them Doug's?
No, they aren't. You know it or you wouldn't have asked me.
Well, then why don't you find out whose they are and arrest them?
They could be anybody's, Mr. Forbes. Somebody entirely unrelated to these cases. Forbes, I'm giving you a break. I take this case to any jury in this county and I'll put you in the penitentiary for the rest of your life. Now, you have my offer. What are you going to do with it?
Mr. May, I am innocent.
All right.
Down to is our word against all those hysterical women.
Honey, Mrs. Russell, back us up. She was here. She saw you at the same time Mrs. Latkin was... Well, you know. Look, the jury will believe her. She's got no reason to lie.
When I was in jail, all I could think about was coming back home.
Mr. May, because Douglas Forbes is the wrong man.
No, she couldn't identify him because he was hysterical. Well, look where the rape took place, will you? practically in Forbes' own backyard.
But did she identify him, Mr. May? Did she?
You let him out and see what he does. You know the real crime here is that I can only put him away for life. But I'm going to tell you something, Tom. If he doesn't go away for life on this Latkin case, I've got 2 more victims waiting in the wings and 2 more trials. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to go get roasted for letting him out on bail.
It was 3:45. A Thursday. I was sunbathing. I had set an alarm for my baby's feeding time, 3:45. When it went off, I went inside and with his big eyes. And I could smell the liquor.
Now, Miss Latkin, I know this is difficult. Is that man in this courtroom?
Yes, sir, he is.
Can you point him out to us?
It's that man, Mr. Forbes.
Now, Miss Latkin, did you want revenge against this man that did this to you?
Justice, yes?
Of course. So when District Attorney May took you to the Veterans Hospital to see his prime suspect, his mental patient, when he handed you those binoculars, you had justice on your mind?
No, you don't understand. I didn't want it to be him because I knew if it was him, I'd have to go through this, but it was him. It was him. It was him.
I saw Mr. Forbes at his home between 3:30 and 4:30. He was still working on his new truck. Now, I remember because their baby, Lance, he was sick. And so I made it a point to be there at that time to pick my little girls up.
And this was on what day?
Thursday. That's my shopping day.
Thank you. Your witness.
Now, Mrs. Russ, we're just trying to get to the truth here. As you know, sometimes the truth's a tricky thing to come by. I'm going to ask you with all respect, didn't you ever shop on some day other than a Thursday?
Thursday's my usual shopping day.
Usual? Oh, well, then usual isn't always, is it? I mean, you might have done your shopping and seen Douglas Forbes on some day that wasn't Thursday.
Well, I don't think so.
You don't think? I want to remind you, forgive me, but you are under oath. Now, isn't it possible that you might have taken your girls to the Forbes house in that week on some day other than the Thursday?
Well, it's possible.
It's possible.
Doug, I'm sure the jury wants to know why you were a patient at the Veterans Hospital when you were arrested.
My nerves. I thought a rest would help.
Is there a medical term for your condition, Doug?
Yes. Acute paranoid schizophrenia.
Yet you had a good job, a house, 4 children, beautiful wife, a nice, normal life until you were arrested? How do you explain that?
Well, you see, with me, the illness sounds a lot worse than it really is. As long as I take my medication, talk to the doctors at the VA occasionally, I'm fine.
Do you drink, Doug?
No.
Have you ever owned or driven a green Jeep?
No.
Then what do you have to say to Mrs. Latkin, who sat right here and under oath said you raped her?
She is mistaken. I was home with my wife when that happened.
And there is no doubt about it. I know you'll believe me when I tell you that depriving Mrs. Forbes and her children of a husband and a father weighs very heavily on my heart. But we are going to have to now send a message loud and clear that crimes of this kind will be shown no mercy. And if this state permitted a death penalty, I'd be standing here in front of you now asking you to send that man to the electric chair. But under the circumstances, I implore you, bring back a verdict of guilty so that society can be protected from predators like Douglas Forbes.
All rise.
You seated? Mr. Foreman, has the jury reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
I'll ask everyone to remain silent till the court is adjourned. The defendant will stand and face the jury. Mr. Foreman, how do you find?
We, the jury, find the defendant, Douglas Forbes, guilty of rape.
In accordance with your responsibility under the law of Tennessee, what sentence do you impose?
Your Honor, we sentence the defendant, Douglas Forbes, to 50 years in prison.
You're right. No, he's innocent.
Forbes?
Mrs. Forbes. Mrs. Forbes. Mom, you know that. Honey.
Well, the baby's finally asleep.
I'm not going to school.
You're going.
I'm sick.
Uh-huh.
I am.
Hello, Joel. Martha?
Preacher Soames. Bless you for coming by. Come on in. Have a cup of coffee.
Oh, no, thank you. You're busy.
Oh, no. No, the kids are just leaving. Sorry, I haven't been at church lately. Starved for news. Afraid I haven't seen too many people lately.
Well, you know how people are. Martha, I brought you this to cheer you up. On behalf of the church?
Oh, well, it's very thoughtful of you.
Come on, you guys. We're going to be late for the bus.
Bye, Mama. Bye, Mama.
Bye, Mama.
Well, I'll be going too, Martha. We'll talk real soon.
Hello?
Martha Forbes?
Yes.
I'm glad you're home. It's women like you who don't take their wifely duties serious, who turn out monsters like Douglas Forbes. Open your Bible. See what the Lord has waiting for filth like you. You're gonna roast in hell.
God. Oh, God. Give me strength. Help me now.
Bye-bye, Mrs. Hobbs. Well, Mrs. Forbes, where's that beautiful baby of yours?
He's home.
Oh?
Well, my sister-in-law's watching out after him.
Oh. Well, you surely found the nicest peaches. Your husband hasn't lost his appetite, has he?
That food in there is just poison.
Well, how long will he be there in the sheriff's lockup? So you can visit him, I mean.
Until the Supreme Court hears his appeal.
Oh. And then
he comes home.
Well, we all surely hope so.
Mrs. Forbes, take a look at these pictures.
Ah, this man looks like my husband. Who is he?
His name is Dennis Sullivan. Somebody in town today mistook him for Doug. Wanted to know how he got out of jail so quick.
You found him. This is the man.
No, Martha. Believe me, I've checked it. But this guy may be able to help us out. Now, Martha, I have some good news. The state Supreme Court has decided to hear our appeal.
Oh, that's wonderful. When?
Not for a while. And it isn't a sure thing, Martha. Louis May is nervous because of this appeal. That's why he's decided to prosecute Doug again for the Delaney rape. That way, if he wins, Doug has to stay behind bars, no matter what the Supreme Court does.
Why is he doing this? Why can't he see?
My daddy says if your daddy wasn't in jail, him and his friends would come after him. Hey, son of Mad Mailman, I'm talking to you. Stop it! Whoa! Hey, stop it! Shelly! Stop it! Ow! Shelly! Shelly, stop! Shelly! All off for the Mad Mailman stop.
Don't you do that again, you hear? He's not a mad mailman, and you're not my mother. She's got enough to worry about, you little brat.
Well, I thank you for telling me. Thank you. Bye. Shelley, why are you telling your teacher all these things? That you're starving because we don't have any food? I don't put you to bed until 3 and then I wake you up again at 5? Shelley, look at me. Those are lies.
God won't help us.
Shelley Forbes.
Then why'd you stop taking us to church?
Because the church isn't always God, honey. Sometimes it's just people who send you fruit instead of standing by your dad and us when we need them the most. That's why we stopped.
So it's like God, only he doesn't give us fruit.
Shelley, stop it, please.
Why can't Daddy just come home? Why can't God just let him?
He's coming home, honey.
He's gonna go to court again, Mama.
Now, Mrs. Delaney, calling your attention to the day in question. You previously identified the defendant as your assailant, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Well, now, for the benefit of this court, this jury, could you point him out again? And you can stand up, let the jury see you do it.
That's the man.
Can we have the record show that the witness identified the defendant, Douglas Forbes? Thank you, Mrs. Delaney. It's your witness, Mr. Cowan.
Please sit back down, Mrs. Delaney. In your testimony, you stated this man was about 5'9", 5'10".
That's correct.
What do you say to the fact that the defendant, Douglas Forbes, is much taller than the man you described?
Well, I'm saying that I was guessing his height as best I could.
You used the term guessing. Is part of your identification guesswork?
Oh, Your Honor, could Mr. Cowan be asked to step back away from the witness?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Now, Mrs. Delaney, would you take a look at this photograph? Except for the hair being longer, do you recognize this man?
Objection. There's been no groundwork laid for introducing that photograph.
I don't know where you're going, Counselor, but I will let the witness answer the question.
Can you say with certainty now that that's the assailant?
I can say without a shadow of a doubt. That is the man who came into my house and raped me.
Really? Because these photos aren't of Douglas Forbes. They're of a man by the name of Dennis Sullivan. Thank you, Mrs. Delaney. No more questions.
Be direct, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, Your Honor. Now, Mrs. Delaney, you're a good church-going woman. You read your Bible, I know. You believe in the Bible as the Word of God?
Oh, yes, Mr. May. As sure as I'm sitting here, I do.
Because you swore on that Bible to tell the truth. And I'm asking you now to tell the truth. Are you guessing when you're identifying your attacker?
No, sir, I'm not. Photograph or no photograph. But looking at that man in real life, I know that it's him, Douglas Forbes.
Ready? $10 more. That's 60 years.
I'm sorry, Doug.
Poor little fella. He's gonna grow up not knowing his daddy. Shelley, who gave you this nice fruit basket?
Church. This one had peaches and plums, but the last one had oranges and apples.
Well, that's thoughtful. That they didn't repeat, I mean. Martha.
Martha, we're right next door for anything you need.
At least now we all know the truth, Martha, and you can get on with your life.
Norma, for God's sakes, do you have to do this now?
After 2 trials, somebody's finally got to say it, and the sooner the better.
What are you saying?
I know it's hard, but you've got to forget him. You just have to put him right out of your life and start over.
Start over? After 15 years of marriage? After 4 children? Our children? And knowing that he is innocent? You know, I don't even care what you think. You know, family doesn't abandon family.
I was only trying to help.
I think you better go now. I think it's time to go.
Martha,
Please, go. Please.
mind it's your own business. I'll see you later, Clem. I'll give you a call.
Martha, we are strong. No matter what anybody says to our faces or behind our backs about Doug, the truth shall make us free.
Joel has grown 2 inches in the last 6 months. Honey, money's getting a little bit tight right now.
Doug, Martha, we just got the Supreme Court's decision. I wanted to tell you personally. I'm sorry, but we lost.
We'll have to take you to prison now, Doug.
Right now?
Which one?
Nashville.
The wall.
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Come on, sir. Come on, man, let's go.
Maybe we can just wait this way a little bit.
Creek. Well, fellas, look what we got coming down the road here. Creek walking. Walking, y'all. Creek walking. Got the shirt, y'all. Yeah, they right. We gonna right you. You can't stay on here. You can't stay on here. Bring it up. No, you want it out? Make it down there. With it.
So you're Forbes, the Johnson City rapist.
I'm not a rapist.
Innocent, huh? Well, Forbes, I'm your welcoming committee. I'm here to tell you what happens to rapists inside the wall. Give you a little something to think about.
Hey, knock it off. Both of you get back to work.
Take it easy on him. He's innocent, like me. See you around, Dougie. Is that true, Forbes? Are you really innocent?
Yes, sir, I am.
There are no innocent men here, Forbes. Think about that while you're in here for a month. Here's your toilet.
Annual income?
None.
Do you possess any vocational skills, Mrs. Forbes?
I sew. I babysit.
And you are applying for food stamps because your husband is away from home and unable to provide?
Yes.
Well, why is he unable to provide, Mrs. Forbes?
He is temporarily incarcerated at the State Correctional Institution at Nashville.
Oh.
That's 5742, Mrs. Forbes. Our rules don't allow us to tear the stamps out. You've got to remove the right amount and hand them to me.
Martha Forbes, go out and get yourself a job. What do you think?
Mama, does this mean that Daddy isn't coming home soon?
No. No, it's just, I just needed something to keep my mind off all this.
But Daddy said you don't work because we're a full-time job.
Well, Daddy knows we need the money, honey. Now, I'm gonna be gone a lot. So I'll fix the dinner, and Yolanda, you can reheat it when the time comes, all right? Something wrong? You never seen a salad bar before? Come on, give me a hand up. Well, Martha, Mrs. Forbes, I'm not the only one who knows who you are. It's a small town. Happens every time I go out, so I didn't. Terry Hyder. Well, you're still here. Give me a hand. Plain baked stuffed, fries mashed. Plain baked stuffed, fries mashed. There he is. There's your daddy. Come on. Sir.
Merry Christmas, Daddy.
Merry Christmas, baby.
We brought you a lot of presents, Daddy. But they said they had to open them all.
Honey, they're going to give it to him. A little later.
Miss you, Daddy. I bought you the neatest fishing lure, Daddy. But they said you couldn't have it.
That's all right, honey. You can give it to me when I get home. But Lord, say something. Seems like it's been so long. How's Sir Lancelot doing?
Oh, he's talking up a blue streak.
Is he? Yolanda, you're practically a lady. What have you been doing?
I don't know. Just cooking and cleaning and keeping the brats out of trouble while Mama works.
I just started, honey. We need to talk about the house. We're just a little bit behind in the payments.
My brothers will help.
Well, you know how I feel about asking for help, and honey, we just haven't seen very much of Porter or Clennard ever since the second trial.
Well, whatever you think's best, Martha. No?
Are you okay?
Smoking. Nothing else to do.
Are you taking your medicine?
I need more, I think. If you could maybe talk to the warden or the doctor about that.
Well, sure. Before we leave, I will.
Good. Been fishing lately, Tiger?
Not much. It's no fun without you, Dad.
You look so old, Mama. Isn't there something we can do?
His medication was off, that's all, honey.
I'm glad they took my present away. We'll never get to use it. Never.
Shelley, your daddy is coming home.
Oh, Mom, just wake up. Stop dreaming and wake up.
Shh! You hurt Mama again. You quit it, okay? Okay? He's not coming home. He's not. Shh. Can't you keep it to yourself? Be nice to Mama for a change.
Where is everybody? Oh, it's him. The man in the green Jeep.
They caught him?
Well, no, but he did it again. I just heard it right now on the radio. It was right on the radio on the news program. And since your dad's in prison...
They'll have to admit that they've got the wrong man.
We'll be home soon?
Yes,
Yeah, the man does resemble your husband, vaguely. But Mr. Cowan there, that prank in the courtroom with those pictures and Sullivan, why, he seemed to prove that a lot of people resemble your husband.
What about the green Jeep?
What about it?
My God, Mr. May. The sheriff put an ad in the paper asking for the public's help in finding a rapist that looks like Doug Forbes, only drinks and drives a green Jeep. That's your man.
No, it isn't. 2 juries said that my man is Forbes. Beyond a reasonable doubt.
Mr. May, the real Johnson City rapist is still out there. And Doug could be home for Christmas.
I never have gotten the right man to hear all the men I put in prison tell it. And their wives. Your husband wrote me a note, you know. Said he'd see me when he gets out. I think that shows his true colors. Oh, you better tell him to put that out of his mind. Because God help him if he ever tries anything like that. Now, good day.
Well, go ahead, Joe. Plug it in.
Okay, here goes. Ta-da!
Hey.
Dad isn't coming home for Christmas, is he?
No, Shelley's not.
Mama, what did the prosecutor say?
Just things, just horrible things.
How was Dad ever going to come home with him around?
You know, I've been thinking that maybe this house is too big for us.
Too big? But you and Daddy planned this house to...
It's just so big, Yolanda, and it's expensive, and I really think we could find a very nice, smaller house. I'm sure of it.
Yes, ma'am.
Shelley, why don't you strum us something, Come on, it's Christmas. We sure could use it.
Yeah, Shelley. Why don't you strum something for us?
Yeah, something real pretty, Shelley. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in help! Come on, will you? At least it's got indoor plumbing. You get to share a room with Lance. I get Mom.
We'll be real careful with that table, please.
What do you say, Uncle Clem?
I say, looks like we're both moving.
You're not moving around here, are you?
Actually, I got a job in Florida.
Florida? You've been living in Johnson City your whole life.
What's there, Uncle Clem?
Warmth. Let's get moving, huh?
Right over there, could you?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Isn't this Shelley's bed?
Oh, yeah. I gotta keep an eye on her every second now. Where have you been, Clennard?
Hiding, I guess. Every day I deliver my mail around here. People look at me. They don't say anything. They don't have to. I can hear them thinking. Mad mailman. You know what I mean? It keeps ringing in my ears. I can't stay.
But we know the truth. And the truth will make us free. And you said it yourself.
I was wrong.
You weren't wrong.
I was. Martha, you know what the truth is? The truth is my brother, your husband, is in prison. And there's not a thing any of us can do about it. Now, the sooner we all admit that, the sooner we'll all be free. Martha, I hope I am wrong. Goodbye, Martha.
Forbes, Buddy Reynolds. You sweep and mop, Reynolds.
No, I washed 16 years. I've been washing here. Washing's mine. He sweeps.
I don't mind sweeping. You mind your own business, Forbes. You're gonna learn some discipline, Reynolds. Now sweep, or you're gonna spend another 60 days in a hole.
16 years I've been washing around, and you show up.
Listen, if we just do what they say, neither of us will go to the hole again.
16 years I've been washing pots and pans here.
That's it! Break it up!
You thought about it? I wish you'd come, Martha. It's a good church with good people. Even widows got to stop mourning sometime. Life goes on. I don't want to push you. Just think of that.
You don't have to keep an eye on me.
Just thought this would be so nice. Don't you?
Why is Uncle Clint really moving, Ma?
Because people say things to him about your dad that aren't true and are ugly, and it hurts him.
People say things to you?
So, if somebody says something to you, I want you to tell me right away.
My social studies teacher said America's the best. I told her she was stupid.
And I don't have to keep an eye on you?
It's the truth.
It isn't. Honey, it's like God and the people in the church. There's the laws and the people who try to apply them. Like Louis May. Now, he's a human being, and he's made a mistake, and mistakes get corrected.
But Mr. May, Mom, be real. And God's supposed to be so perfect, and he made the biggest mistake of all, and now is not doing anything about it.
He is testing our faith, Shell. And if we lose faith, your daddy's never coming home. Why didn't you tell us?
What?
We started back to church. Terry invited us.
Terry?
My friend from work, the one I told you about.
What the hell did you do that for?
Wish the kids were here. Just the motel and the meals, it gets so expensive.
Make them uncomfortable, too, I know.
Miss you, Doug, every day. Why can't we just talk about nothing but family things and not let the conversation get back around to you being in here? Okay?
Martha Lou, you don't deserve this. You're still a young woman. The kids need a real father. Now, I'm not going anywhere until at least the year 2004. That is the next century, Martha Lou. Divorce me. What? Please.
Doug, I'm really worried about Yolanda. She's got this new boyfriend, and he drives a motorcycle. And I was hoping maybe you could just write her a letter and tell her, honey.
Please.
Honey. Doug.
Mama, the paper boy just delivered the paper.
Yeah?
Now you gotta promise not to get your hopes up.
What is it? Now, Tom Cowan says that the police are looking for a suspect. See, the woman tore the man's watch off in the struggle, and they're going to trace it, and if they can find it,
Martha Lou,
then they...
does Tom Cowan believe it's him? Or just you? Darling.
May, this is one for the books. His name is Donnelly. Came in wearing the identical match to the watch that the latest rape victim tore off. Must have a drawer full of them. One of our officers saw him at a grocery store and thought that he matched the description of the assailant. So we traced the license plate number and gave him a call and asked him to come in for a little chat. Well, he walks in last night, and we can't shut him up.
Oh, did Wave Counsel give you full confession?
Yes, sir, full confession. Matter of fact, he's confessed to 9 rapes over the last 7 or 8 years.
Where'd you do all that?
Right here, he said. And some of the details sound real familiar.
How familiar?
Latkin, Delaney.
You mean the 2 cases that sent Forbes away?
Yes, sir.
Well, Miss Forbes, I'll tell you the same thing I'm going to tell the press. A man has confessed to rapes that we've got another man in prison for. It's going to take time to find out the truth. I mean, some kook walks in here, we can't just...
my husband has spent 5 years in prison waiting for that kook to walk in. Same kook we've been telling you about over and over again. Now, how much longer do you intend to keep my husband in there?
Just as long as it takes to find out if Donnelly's telling the truth. Well, we've stopped.
I followed her. I remember that sign, Kings Park Estates. Straight on up ahead.
Go on. Stop. There. She had a baby. Groceries. Right again, huh, boys? How many's that so far?
Well, we're gonna have to track down Mrs. Delaney, wherever she is. And Latkin.
Sweetie, he's not home yet. Oh, just the thought of getting back to normal. Just being a mom again. Besides, you can't leave this paradise. You're a liberated woman.
It's been 2 months, Martha. Now, I remember writing him once that I would see him when I got out. He'll make sure I won't.
He's a fair man, Doug. He's just so positive that you're guilty.
Unless Mr. May recommends it, the governor will not grant a pardon.
I don't want a pardon. I'm not going to come home a forgiven rapist. There is nothing to forgive. As a matter of fact, too, I know now that I'm not ever going to get out of here, Martha. Not ever.
Mr. May, when will you finally reveal the results of your investigation? The public is waiting to find out how many innocent men are in prison.
Hold it. Aren't you some of the same people that wanted to lynch Forbes and me too about 5 years ago when we let him out on bail? I think so. Well, the investigation is continuing. Excuse me.
But Mr. May, tell us what you have learned up until now.
I can't see you without your lawyer being present.
Mr. May, you kept me waiting for 2 months. Now you can see me for a few minutes.
Please, come in and be comfortable. Now, Miss Forbes, I have to tell you that the governor is simply not going to overturn 2 jury verdicts because I happen to have some doubts about the thing 5 years later. We're going to have a whole lot more on Donnelly, or there isn't going to be a pardon.
My husband won't accept a pardon, Mr. May. The governor has to say he's innocent.
Oh, now, Miss Forbes, you better tell your husband that if he takes that line, he hasn't got a chance.
You said you have doubts.
That's
Now,
not the point.
What is?
I'm trying to make you understand that a jury verdict, now, I don't want to be patronizing to you, but that's a sacred thing. That's the voice of the people. Now, the people have declared your husband guilty, both trials. Now, you want to say people make mistakes, all right, but twice? Beyond any reasonable doubt? I wouldn't think so.
An innocent man is in prison, and you know it.
I don't know it. No, I don't know it, and I'm not going to concede it either. Now, let me tell you something. I've spent the biggest part of my life standing in front of juries, and as a defense attorney, not only as a prosecutor. And I've never been more sure of anything than I was when I stood in front of those 2 juries. And I told those people, well,
I remember what you told them. You wished they could send my husband to the electric chair.
I don't know what you think about me, Mrs. Forbes, but I'm not an evil man or anything like that. I'm just doing a job here. And I'm not like one of those pretty boy prosecutors. All he's got his mind on is running for governor. I want to do this job right here, and I do it. I think I do a good job.
If you have doubts, isn't your job now to resolve them and help an innocent man out of prison? Isn't it your job to make sure justice is done?
I don't know that that's justice. Is that justice? Second-guessing those 2 juries without evidence? There isn't any hard evidence.
Then help us find something. My husband is losing all hope. He's an innocent man, and he's gonna die in there. Oh, please don't let that happen. Please.
Get Lieutenant Nance on the phone for me right away. Well, all during this case, we only had 2 fingerprints. The one we got out at Latkins was smudged, and the other one wasn't your husband's. We can start there. I don't know where else to start.
Could you have told 5 years ago it was Donnelly's?
No. The FBI can't take a print and tell you whose it is. All they can do is to compare it to other prints on file or to a suspect. And back then, we only had 1 suspect. Yeah. Nance, I want you to take Donnelly's prints to the FBI and have them compared to that print we lifted from that rape case a while back, you remember?
Sure, the one that didn't match Douglas Forbes.
Yeah, that's right. I want you to fly to Washington and wait there overnight.
Do you know what the odds are that that print is the rapist?
No, what are the odds that that print is even the rapist's?
Sorry. Yes, sir. Washington. I'll wait overnight.
All right. Well, he's right about the odds. I mean, that print could be the victim's cousin, brother, a butcher, baker, candlestick maker, name it.
Thank you, Mr. May.
No! Let Mama get it.
Hello? Yes, 1 second. She's right here.
Hello? Hi, Freddie. No, I can't talk now. No, as in hang up.
Maybe the plane back from Washington's late.
Well, honey, if the fingerprints were Donnelly's, they would have called us from Washington. And we can't get our hopes up. It's what you made me promise, isn't it?
I didn't think you'd listen.
Tom.
The fingerprint was Donnelly's, Martha.
Kid!
Can we go pick him up now?
Can we?
Lieutenant Nance called me. Said Louis May still wasn't ready to go to the governor. He left the state for a few days.
Why?
I don't know.
Mr. May?
May I come in, Miss Delaney?
I didn't make a mistake.
I won't take very much of your time. This is a picture of the man who confessed, as he looks now. And this is the same man, Donnelly. It's taken a few months before the incident. You'll notice he's about 30 pounds heavier.
He has a green Jeep and he drinks.
Yes. Forbes never had a Jeep and he never drank.
Well, he said that, sure. You said his fingerprints were...
Well, those fingerprints were found in another victim's house. We never did find Forbes' fingerprints. Any place.
He knew where I lived.
The very house.
The address was given during the trial, Mr. May. You know that. I remember that face. I still do. His face. Those eyes. Oh, can't you see that we moved here to try to forget? Why can't you just let me out of this? You already said that you found that other man's fingerprints.
That victim never did identify Forbes. You did. In a trial, under oath. Your evidence convicted him. But if you have any doubts about it now...
Oh, God, I had doubts then. After that other lawyer tricked me with those pictures of that other man. Then you said, hadn't I sworn an oath? And wasn't I certain? I wasn't. I wasn't.
Now, Miss Delaney, I prosecuted him and you identified him. We both tried to put him... tried to do our duty. And do the right thing. Now, this is our duty. This is the right thing. The man's been in prison for 5 years. I have a statement here if you're willing to sign it. And it states that you might have mistakenly identified Douglas Forbes as the man who... And if you do that, I might be able to persuade the governor to release him.
I never meant him. I was doing the right thing, wasn't I? I really thought that it was him.
So did I. So did we all.
The parole board has determined that a grave injustice was done in the conviction of Douglas Forbes. We hold that Douglas Forbes is innocent of the charges for which he was convicted, and it is therefore the unanimous recommendation of this board that the governor should immediately issue a complete and unconditional pardon, and that the record of Douglas Forbes should be cleared.
Statement, Mr. Forbes. Statement, please. Mr. Forbes, can we have a statement?
Are you going to go back to the post office, Doug?
How would you just be back? Are you bitter?
How do you feel about Louis May, the man who put you here?
All I can say is we're going home.
Doug, when do you go back to work?
The governor just announced you could ride home in his limousine if you wanted, Doug.
I think we'll go just the way we came, thanks. Although I will enjoy the ride more this time, Deputy.
So will I, Doug. Welcome home.
Plenty for everybody. Okay, come on, fill up your plates now. Okay, Shelley has asked if she could give the grace this afternoon on this very special Thanksgiving Day.
Can I have the lamb? I want some of this. Then you want some of this? Yeah. Okay. Take some. I want some more. I want some red butter. I want that piece right there. I want that thing. Pass the potato. Can you pass the yams? Well, come on, Lance. Here, I know you like these lima beans. I want some stuffing. Have some stuffing. Have some mashed potatoes.
Honey, could you?
Of course.
I've got you a welcome home present, Dad. Can we go fishing tomorrow?
Sure, baby.